The Book of Enoch, an ancient text shrouded in mystery, lost for centuries and deemed too dangerous for the Bible. Written over 2,000 years ago, it is attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. This book tells of divine secrets, fallen angels, and apocalyptic visions. It describes the Watchers, heavenly beings who descended to earth, defied God, and corrupted humanity by teaching forbidden knowledge. In return, they were cast into eternal darkness. Yet, this book vanished from mainstream Christianity. The early church feared its radical ideas, heavenly journeys, end-time prophecies, and an unseen battle between divine forces. It was condemned, labeled heretical, and erased from sacred texts. Only the Ethiopian Orthodox Church preserved it. But secrets don't stay buried forever. Rediscovered in the 18th century, the Book of Enoch shook scholars and theologians alike. Could it be a lost key to understanding biblical mysteries? Was it censored to hide forbidden truths? Today, researchers continue to study its cryptic messages, and conspiracy theorists claim it holds the blueprint for the end of days. The Book of Enoch, banned, forgotten, yet still whispering its secrets to those who dare to listen. The Talmud. The Talmud. An ancient collection of wisdom, laws, and traditions, the Talmud is the foundation of Jewish life and thought. Compiled between the 3rd and 5th centuries CE, it weaves together rabbinical discussions on ethics, philosophy, and the mysteries of existence. Unlike other sacred texts, it is not a single book but a vast conversation, shaped by generations, echoing the voices of scholars seeking truth. Yet this pursuit of knowledge made it dangerous. To those who feared its depth, the Talmud was more than scripture. It was a challenge. It was burned in medieval Europe, banned by popes and kings, condemned as a threat to religious orthodoxy. Its pages contained interpretations that defied rigid doctrine, thoughts that empowered intellectual rebellion. Some whispered that hidden within were secrets, mystical teachings of the Kabbalah, cryptic codes embedded in ancient commentary, insights that unlocked the nature of divinity and the cosmos. Others claimed it held influence over secret societies, that its wisdom was known only to the initiated. Despite persecution, the Talmud endured. It traveled in hidden manuscripts, studied in secret chambers, passed down through generations. Today it is studied openly, its debates still alive, shaping law, ethics, and modern philosophy. More than just a book, the Talmud is a testament to the power of questioning, to the danger and necessity of knowledge. And though once forbidden, its words remain, whispering across time to those who seek wisdom. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Before Uncle Tom's Cabin shook the world, another book, the Book of Enoch, was hidden from many eyes, containing secrets too powerful for its time. But now we turn to a different book, one that changed the course of history. In 1852, Harriet Beecher Stowe published Uncle Tom's Cabin, a novel that exposed the brutal realities of slavery in America. More than just a story, it was a weapon, a book so powerful it was said to have helped ignite the Civil War. The novel follows the journey of Uncle Tom, a deeply spiritual enslaved man, as he endures unimaginable cruelty, unwavering in his faith. His tragic fate stirred the conscience of a nation. But not everyone welcomed its message. In the South, the book was banned, called dangerous propaganda. Slaveholders feared it would fuel rebellion, and pro-slavery groups labeled Stowe a liar. Some even published counter-narratives to discredit her work. Yet, the book's impact was undeniable. Abolitionists embraced it, and it became the second best-selling book of the 19th century, only behind the Bible. Was there a hidden message? Some saw Tom's suffering as a symbol of Christ-like sacrifice, while others argued the novel reinforced harmful stereotypes. Even today, debates continue over its legacy. But one truth remains. Uncle Tom's Cabin was a book that changed minds, exposed injustice, and left a mark that history could never erase. The Satanic Verses, a book that sparked global outrage, ignited protests, and led to a deadly fatwa against its author. Written by Salman Rushdie in 1988, this novel blends magical realism with deep philosophical questions. Inspired by real historical debates within Islam, it tells the story of two Indian actors who survive a plane crash and undergo surreal transformations, one embodying angelic purity, the other descending into demonic visions. Through shifting narratives, Rushdie explores themes of identity, migration, and the struggle between faith and doubt. But controversy erupted over its depiction of a prophet resembling Muhammad and passages referencing the so-called Satanic Verses, an alleged moment where the prophet was deceived by the devil. Religious leaders saw this as blasphemy, and in 1989, Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini issued a fatwa calling for Rushdie's death, forcing him into hiding. The book was banned in multiple countries, bookstores were bombed, and violent riots broke out worldwide. Yet, despite the danger, the satanic verses survived. It remains available today, studied by scholars analyzing its literary depth and the limits of free speech. Whether seen as a masterpiece or a provocation, one thing is certain. This book changed history, proving that words have the power to shake the world. Lolita. A novel that has fascinated, disturbed, and divided readers since its publication. Written by Russian-American author Vladimir Nabokov in 1955, Lolita tells the story of Humbert Humbert, a literature professor obsessed with a 12-year-old girl, Dolores Hayes, whom he calls Lolita. What unfolds is a disturbing tale of manipulation, obsession, and moral corruption, told through the lens of Humbert's poetic yet unreliable narration. At its core, Lolita explores themes of power, obsession, and the distortion of love. It challenges the reader to confront uncomfortable truths about deception, morality, and the dangers of romanticizing evil. Unlike traditional novels about love or desire, Lolita forces us to question the narrator's reality and see beyond his seductive language. But the book did not enter the world without resistance. It was banned in France, England, Argentina, and New Zealand, condemned for its explicit themes. Critics labeled it obscene, fearing its influence on society. Yet, Nabokov insisted it was not a story of romance but of tragedy, a tale exposing the darkness of human nature. Despite the controversy, Lolita is filled with hidden layers. Beneath the disturbing premise lies a brilliant use of language, literary allusions, and psychological depth. Some even speculate that the book holds coded messages, mirroring real-world secrets of power and control. But no conspiracy is needed to understand its true horror. The story itself is the nightmare. Public reaction was immediate and intense. Some praised its artistry while others denounced it as perverse. Over time, it has influenced countless films, books, and discussions on literature's role in depicting taboo subjects. It remains a source of debate, challenging society's views on censorship, morality, and the ethics of storytelling. Today, Lolita is studied, analyzed, and still widely available. It is no longer banned but remains controversial, often misunderstood. Its lesson? That language can manipulate, and evil can wear a beautiful disguise. Lolita is not about love, it is about the power of deception. A novel once forbidden, now immortal. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene, a mysterious and long-lost text that challenges everything we thought we knew about early Christianity. Discovered in the late 19th century, this ancient manuscript is believed to have been written between the 2nd and 3rd centuries. Though its author remains unknown, it is attributed to Mary Magdalene, one of Jesus' closest followers. The surviving fragments reveal a deeply spiritual dialogue between Jesus and his disciples, where he entrusts Mary with divine wisdom. But this wisdom is unlike anything found in the traditional Gospels. Here, Jesus speaks of the soul's journey beyond death, the illusion of sin, and the importance of inner enlightenment. So why was this book erased from history? In the early Christian church, Mary Magdalene's role was powerful, yet controversial. The Gospel suggests she understood Jesus' teachings better than the male disciples, a claim that threatened the emerging church hierarchy. The idea of personal spiritual authority, rather than reliance on religious institutions, was dangerous. By the 4th century, the church declared Gnostic texts like this heretical, and the Gospel of Mary Magdalene disappeared, suppressed, hidden, and forgotten. But what secrets did it contain? The Gospel speaks of a deeper reality, one where the material world is an illusion, and salvation comes from knowledge, not blind faith. It rejects fear-based teachings, even dismissing eternal damnation. Most strikingly, it portrays Mary not as a mere follower, but as a leader, a keeper of wisdom, something that would have challenged the patriarchal structures of early Christianity. For centuries, this book remained buried, until its rediscovery sparked new debates. Some scholars see it as a missing piece of Christian history, while others dismiss it as dangerous Gnostic mysticism. Today it remains incomplete, only a few pages have survived, but its impact continues to grow. It raises profound questions. Was Mary Magdalene meant to lead the church? What did Jesus really teach? And what else has been hidden from us? The Gospel of Mary Magdalene is more than just an ancient text. It is a doorway to a lost world of spiritual knowledge, one that challenges history, authority, and the very foundation of faith itself. 1984, a book that was never meant to be just fiction. Written by George Orwell in 1949, this chilling novel imagines a future where totalitarian rule controls every aspect of life. A world where history is rewritten, truth is erased, and even thoughts are policed. The story follows Winston Smith, a man trapped under the oppressive eye of Big Brother, where even love and freedom are crimes. Banned in the Soviet Union for exposing dictatorship and censored in the US for its dark themes, 1984 became one of the most forbidden books of modern history. Governments feared its warnings. Its ideas were too close to reality. But beyond its dystopian world lies hidden truths, secrets about propaganda, mass surveillance, and psychological control that mirror society today. Was Orwell simply predicting the future, or was he warning us of a world already in motion? From political uprisings to the internet age, 1984 has shaped revolutions and continues to haunt leaders who wish to silence dissent. Even today, the book remains a guide for those who refuse to be controlled. Truth is not always what is told. The question is, are we already living in 1984? The Apocalypse of Peter. In the early Christian era, there existed a text so vivid and haunting, it would leave an indelible mark on the religious landscape. The Apocalypse of Peter is a work that was once highly regarded by some early Christians, offering a vision of the afterlife that would become both controversial and forbidden. The book, attributed to the Apostle Peter, was written in the 2nd century, though its exact origins are unclear. It depicts Peter's journey through heaven and hell, guided by Jesus, where Peter witnesses the torment of sinners and the reward of the righteous. The themes are intense, focusing on divine justice, the punishment of evil, and the ultimate fate of souls. Its portrayal of hell, with graphic depictions of suffering, was unlike any other text circulating at the time. While some early Christian communities found the Apocalypse of Peter to be an important work, others saw it as a dangerous influence. Its vivid descriptions of hell were thought to be too graphic and its portrayal of divine wrath too extreme. This led to its exclusion from the official Christian canon by the 5th century. Church leaders felt that the book's apocalyptic imagery could incite fear and disrupt the careful theological balance they were trying to establish. The book is rich in symbolism, with esoteric elements that delve into the mysteries of the afterlife, offering hidden knowledge about sin, punishment, and salvation. These teachings, once considered too radical, challenged established beliefs about the afterlife and the nature of divine justice. When the Apocalypse of Peter was rediscovered centuries later, it sparked a wave of fascination. Scholars and mystics were drawn to its bold ideas, while some began to reconsider its theological implications. Despite being banned, its influence can still be seen in various mystical traditions and interpretations of the afterlife. Today, copies of the Apocalypse of Peter can be found in ancient manuscripts and modern scholarly publications. Its impact on history and religion cannot be overstated, and its message about the consequences of sin and divine judgment continues to provoke thought. Though no longer considered a dangerous threat, it remains a profound exploration of the divine, waiting to challenge our understanding of justice and the eternal. The Kabbalah, Zohar, and other texts. The Kabbalah, a mystical and esoteric tradition rooted in Jewish thought, reveals deep secrets about the nature of existence, the universe, and the divine. Among the most influential texts of this tradition is the Zohar, often regarded as the foundational work of Kabbalistic mysticism. Written in the late 13th century, its authorship is traditionally attributed to Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, although many scholars believe it was penned by the Spanish Jewish mystic Moses de Leon. This sacred work explores the hidden meanings behind the Torah, offering profound insights into the nature of God, creation, and humanity's purpose. The Kabbalah and the Zohar challenge conventional religious and societal structures, unveiling a realm of spiritual knowledge that remains largely inaccessible to the uninitiated. Its mystical teachings focus on the concept of divine light, the process of creation, and the intricate balance between good and evil. This tradition invites followers to contemplate the unseen forces that shape reality, leading many to view it as dangerous or even subversive. Throughout history, the Kabbalah has been met with suspicion and rejection by various religious authorities, including the Catholic Church. Its deep symbolism and the power attributed to its teachings led to its censorship in certain regions, with those who studied it often labeled heretics. Critics argued that its insights into the divine might challenge orthodox religious beliefs, making its study forbidden in many parts of the world. Only those considered to have the proper spiritual qualifications were permitted to explore its depths. Within its pages, the Zohar contains hidden knowledge that opens up realms of mysticism, magic, and divine power. Its teachings suggest that there is more to the universe than meets the eye, with secret knowledge capable of transforming the soul and even the fabric of reality itself. Some believe the Zohar holds the key to understanding the true nature of God and the universe, secrets so potent they were reserved for a select few. The Zohar and the broader Kabbalistic teachings were integral to the development of various mystical movements throughout history, including the Hasidic movement and the occult circles of Renaissance Europe. Secret societies such as the Freemasons and the Rosicrucians were influenced by Kabbalistic ideas, believing that unlocking the hidden truths of the Zohar could lead to spiritual enlightenment and even the mastery of hidden powers. In the modern era, the Kabbalah has resurfaced, with scholars, spiritual seekers, and even celebrities studying its ancient wisdom. Today, copies of the Zohar and other Kabbalistic texts can be found in libraries, private collections, and spiritual centers worldwide. Scholars continue to decode its complex teachings, and its influence remains a cornerstone of modern mysticism. For those who delve into its teachings, the Kabbalah offers profound lessons about the interconnectedness of all things, the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, and the potential for transformation. The Kabbalah may no longer be feared or banned in the same way it once was, but its significance as a source of hidden knowledge remains undeniable. Whether viewed as a path to divine understanding or a dangerous challenge to religious orthodoxy, the Zohar continues to provoke awe and curiosity, drawing those brave enough to explore its mysteries. It is a book that has shaped centuries of thought, and its true meaning remains an ever-evolving journey for those who seek the light within. The Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. In 1848, two brilliant minds, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, united to pen a work that would shake the foundations of society, the Communist Manifesto. A call to arms for the oppressed, the book outlined the struggles between the bourgeoisie or the capitalist class, and the proletariat or the working class. Through their revolutionary ideas, Marx and Engels laid the groundwork for a new society, one where workers would rise up, overthrow the ruling class, and create a classless, stateless society based on equality. The manifesto's themes were starkly clear. Capitalism breeds inequality, and only through revolution could the working class emancipate itself. In it, Marx and Engels warned of a coming change, one that would transcend traditional class structures and sweep away oppressive systems. The call for a proletarian revolution echoed across the globe, with people reading the manifesto and finding a reflection of their own discontent in its words. But why was this book suppressed? The Communist Manifesto was controversial from the start, as it directly challenged the capitalist order and the very structures of power that supported it. Governments, monarchies, and religious institutions found its revolutionary ideas too threatening, and the book was banned in many nations. The specific call for a worldwide revolution, alongside the overthrow of existing governments, made it anathema to those in power. As for hidden knowledge, the manifesto didn't hide secrets but revealed the harsh truths of a capitalist world, exposing the exploitation of the worker and advocating for a total reordering of society. It directly attacked established religious, political, and social beliefs, which was seen as both a threat to the status quo and a spark for radical change. Many conspiracy theories emerged around Marx and Engels with accusations of secret societies influencing their work, but in reality their message was clear: the world was on the brink of change. Upon its release, the manifesto ignited debates, revolutions, and uprisings. It became a blueprint for Marxist movements and laid the foundation for a wave of socialist and communist revolutions across the globe, particularly in Russia and China. Even after its initial publication, it continued to inspire and evolve, being reinterpreted by countless political leaders and intellectuals. Today, the Communist Manifesto is still readily available, studied by scholars, activists, and revolutionaries alike. It remains a key text in understanding modern politics and socio-economic struggles, especially as the disparity between rich and poor continues to widen. Its lessons in class struggle and systemic change are as relevant now as they were in the 19th century. Despite its controversies, scholars agree that the manifesto's true meaning lies in its call for justice and equality, its revolutionary challenge to existing power structures, and its unflinching critique of exploitation. While it may not be considered dangerous in the same way it once was, its relevance and impact on the world's history cannot be understated. The Communist Manifesto remains a work of profound significance, pushing us to question the very systems that govern our lives. The Decameron, Giovanni Boccaccio. In the midst of the 14th century, during the ravages of the Black Death, Giovanni Boccaccio wrote the Decameron, a collection of 100 stories told over 10 days by a group of young people seeking refuge in the countryside. Each of the tales reflects a diverse range of human experiences: love, trickery, betrayal, and the complexities of life itself. The stories, often laced with humor and satire, challenged the strict societal and religious norms of the time. Written in the years between 1348 and 1353, the Decameron quickly became both celebrated and condemned. Boccaccio, an Italian poet and scholar, explored themes of human nature and the often flawed institutions of religion and government. His depiction of earthly pleasures and moral transgressions led the Catholic Church to denounce the book, fearing its undermining of the moral order. The book was seen as dangerous due to its candid portrayal of sexuality, the questioning of religious authority, and its critique of social hierarchies. The tales exposed the hypocrisy of both church and state, something that made the church in particular view it as a threat. The outright frankness with which Boccaccio addressed taboo subjects, such as adultery and religious corruption, led to its suppression by both ecclesiastical and political powers. However, beneath the surface of this controversial work lies much more than just stories of vice. The Decameron contains layers of esoteric knowledge and observations about human nature, questioning the established order. In its defiance of the times, it also provides a rare glimpse into the way people viewed their own society, revealing hidden truths about social class and gender roles, which challenged the established norms of medieval Europe. Upon its release, the book was both condemned and admired. In some circles, it was seen as a refreshing and honest commentary on human behavior, while in others it was considered subversive and immoral. Over time, the Decameron would influence generations of writers, philosophers, and even political movements. Its themes of personal freedom, satire, and human resilience became timeless, offering new interpretations as societies evolved. Today, the Decameron is available in libraries and bookstores, continuously studied by scholars of literature, philosophy, and history. Its lessons on human nature, the folly of rigid institutions, and the pursuit of personal joy remain relevant in modern society. It serves as a reminder that even the most controversial works can shape the way we understand the world around us. While scholars no longer consider the Decameron to be dangerous, its impact on literature and culture is undeniable. It remains a seminal work in the study of medieval European thought and an enduring testament to the complexities of the human experience. The Rights of Man, Thomas Paine. In 1791, Thomas Paine wrote The Rights of Man, a revolutionary work that would echo through history and challenge the very foundations of monarchy and aristocracy. This powerful manifesto called for the universal recognition of human rights and liberties. Paine's ideas were grounded in the belief that all men are born with inherent rights that should not be controlled by any government or church. The central message was simple: the power of government comes from the people, not from divine authority or inherited privilege. In a time of political upheaval, particularly with the French Revolution unfolding, Paine's book ignited sparks of change. But it wasn't without consequence. His radical ideas were seen as a direct threat to the established order. Governments, especially in Britain, were quick to suppress the book. The ruling classes feared the call for equality and democracy that Paine unleashed. The Rights of Man became a target for censorship, banned in several countries, and condemned by those who saw it as an incitement to rebellion. While Paine's work didn't contain any mystical secrets or esoteric knowledge, it fundamentally challenged the political and religious structures of his day. It posed the uncomfortable question: what right does a king or church have to rule over free people? This direct challenge to the status quo was considered dangerous by the elite. The book wasn't just a political argument, it was a call to action, urging citizens to stand up for their own rights and liberty. The book's impact was immense. It inspired revolutions, emboldened activists, and laid the groundwork for the rise of democratic ideals. The Rights of Man fueled the passions of the French revolutionaries and spread like wildfire across Europe and America. Over time, its influence was felt in the fight for abolition, women's rights, and universal suffrage. Though once banned and suppressed, The Rights of Man can still be found in libraries and archives today, a symbol of the enduring struggle for justice and freedom. Its message remains as relevant as ever, reminding us of the power of the people to reshape their world. As the centuries have passed, scholars continue to study Paine's work, debating its relevance and examining the ideas that made it a cornerstone of political philosophy. It may no longer be considered dangerous, but its radical call for equality and human rights still resonates today. Paine's legacy is undeniable. His work, though once suppressed, continues to inspire movements for democracy, human rights, and the fight against oppression. The Rights of Man is a reminder of the power of one voice, one book, to ignite a revolution. Documentary on Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. Mein Kampf, a name that forever changed the course of history. Written by Adolf Hitler during his imprisonment in 1924, This infamous book combines his autobiography with a blueprint for the ideology that would lead to one of the darkest chapters in human history. The text itself is a disturbing window into the mind of a man who would rise to become the dictator of Nazi Germany. Through its pages, Hitler unveils his vision of racial purity, his hatred for Jews, and his belief in Aryan superiority. The central themes, rooted in extreme nationalism, anti-Semitism, and the concept of Lebensraum, laid the groundwork for the atrocities of World War II. The book called for the expansion of Germany and the establishment of a totalitarian regime. It was more than just words. It was a call to arms, a manifesto for violence and oppression. Mein Kampf was considered controversial and dangerous from the moment it was published. It wasn't just banned by governments around the world, but also heavily suppressed by those who saw it as a tool of destruction. The Catholic Church, certain governments, and societies feared its influence, fearing its radical ideas would spread and gain followers. The book's deeply hateful messages made it a rallying point for far-right groups, becoming a symbol of ideological war and division. Within its pages lies no esoteric wisdom, no hidden secrets. What it does contain is a chilling distortion of reality, an ideology that warps society, targeting minorities and dissenters. The book goes against the fundamental beliefs of equality, freedom, and humanity, challenging the moral fiber of civilized society. Some scholars argue it played a role in creating the environment of hatred that fueled the Holocaust, while others point to its influence on movements that continue to echo hatred and violence today. When it was first published, the world recoiled. As it became a bestseller in Nazi Germany, Mein Kampf was read by millions, shaping the minds of a generation. Its dark ideas were not just absorbed but acted upon, manifesting in policies that would bring devastation across Europe. The impact was undeniable. Millions would die as a direct result of the twisted ideology promoted in these pages. Today, Mein Kampf is still found in libraries, archives, and even some bookshelves, but it is no longer the object of the unfiltered admiration it once was. Modern scholars study the book as a historical document, analyzing the psychology of hate and the ways in which it can be weaponized for political gain. The lessons are grim but clear. The consequences of unchecked ideology can be catastrophic, and the importance of critical thought and resistance against hate is greater than ever. In the end, Mein Kampf is not just a book. It is a warning, an enduring reminder of the dangers of extremism, racism, and intolerance. Though scholars no longer view it as a book of political guidance, its legacy lives on as a cautionary tale. It is a testament to the power of words and the destruction they can sow when wielded by those with dark ambitions. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe for more videos and drop a comment on the next topic you want us to make video on.